We're here in the Living Lab at the town of Hilton Head for today's 843 TV, and we've got a lot of topics that we're going to be talking about.
We do. I'm one of your hosts, Catherine Miedemann.
And I'm Lisa Richardson.
So on our topics today, very interesting, holiday and fire safety. I think that's very important to hear. We have our friend Heather Rath. She's always on the beat of finding out information to do for holidays.
And Catherine, we also have someone new to the area, Pat Zook, who's the new Executive Director of First Tee of the Lowcountry. So you want to stay around, hear all about these exciting things here on 843 TV.
Where communities come to speak.
.843 TV, where the Lowcountry comes to speak.
.843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
Welcome to 843 TV. We're excited to be back here at the town of Hilton Head in the Living Lab, and joining us is a familiar face, Miss Cinda Seamon with the Hilton Head Island Fire and Rescue. You're always helping to educate us, which is your role, and today we're going to be talking about keeping safe during the holiday season with things you might not think about right off the bat. So let's talk about cooking, Christmas dinner. Lots to talk about there.
Right. So first of all, start with a clean oven. That's the main thing. Make sure it's clean. You're going to be doing a lot of cooking, so start with a clean oven. The other thing is keep any combustibles away. Paper towels, pot holders, dish towels, anything like that, keep them away from the stove. Remember when you're cooking to keep your pot holders, your pot handles facing in. Okay, that's a big thing, especially if you're reaching over to the back burner. Not even just for the sake of other people walking by, but if you're reaching to a back burner, you want to make sure those handles are out of the way. We always say there's a 3-foot kid zone in the kitchen, which means 3 feet away from the oven or stove for kids. What I would suggest is during that time period, make sure you have a plan for kids to do something. Maybe you have coloring books and crayons, maybe you have ornaments and crafts they can make, you have videos ready for them to watch. Keep them out of the kitchen, that's the best way. There's too much going on, there's too much heat, there's too much cooking, there's too much boiling water. Let's give the kids a room with activities and toys and videos and things to do to keep them busy while we as the adults are doing the cooking.
Yeah, and real quick, if you have young kids, but in my case, I have teenagers now and they want to try to help. So these are things that I'm trying to remind them of now, that the pot handles, as they're learning how to cook. Right. Very important.
The other thing is too, think about for the teenagers, are they wearing draping sleeves? Are they wearing jewelry? When they again lean over to that back burner, that long necklace can get caught. So that would be something to talk to your teenagers about, as well as the other safety, but what are they wearing when they're in the kitchen
and their
cooking?
hair, the long hair.
Exactly.
You know, and I always use the mitts when I go into the oven. I mean, I swear, it's like armory, because I've always burned the back of my hands when I use those little ones going
Great
in and out,
idea, great. And they make the silicone gloves now.
I know, that's
the of glove, as it's called. And those are good too, for picking up pans and moving. Even if they're not in the oven, they might be on the stove or the counter and they're still hot.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about when you want to fry your turkey, because that's very Southern. That's something very popular here. You hear stories. You hear about things catching on fire and something exploding. So what's wrong?
Well, and the thing is, remember, water and oil don't mix. So
Right.
if you put a turkey in that's completely frozen and there's a lot of ice buildup, that's mixing water with oil. You really need to have those on a steady surface, a very sturdy surface. You need to make sure that all kids are away. Make sure it's at least 10 feet from a building. So you really just need to be very careful and really know what you're doing when you attempt to fry a turkey.
Yeah. So
Decorations.
Christmas trees.
Trees, wreaths, live ones.
Right. The general rule is no more than 3 strands of lights connected. And when I say that, most people look a little surprised.
Just like me,
so it's making you
That's not nearly enough.
gee, I think I might have 5 or 6. But read the manufacturer's recommendations. They may say it's okay for more, but as a general rule, go with 3 strands. Then use a surge protector.
Yes.
If you need to. Stay away from extension cords as much as you can. Those are really only temporary and a lot of times not that safe. If you have a live tree, make sure when you buy it that it's not brittle, because if it's already brittle, you have a problem. It's on its way to dying. Water a live tree every single day. You really have to. It gets dried out, because that can really be potential for a bad fire. So if you have a live tree, water it all the time.
I'm going to ask you, because when you do the extension cords, you always touch the cord, see if it's warm. Is that a good tip to know, or is it something that's I've always been told to do that.
Well, sure, you can.
If it's warm, it's too much. There's too much on it.
Then the other thing is look at some of your cords and your decorations. Are they frayed? Are there broken bulbs? Are there tears in the cord? Inspect those decorations when you get them out. How safe are they to begin with? How long have you had them? Remember, don't use indoor lights outdoors.
Yes.
That can be a major problem. It can spark and start a fire. But if it's indoor lights, indoor. If it's outdoor lights, outdoor. Okay?
So basically, follow the recommendations, and
Right.
it's better off. So as we start to clean up and put things away, are there any tips for that time?
That's important too. Again, inspect your lights again. How did they fare over the season? Make sure they're in good shape, the sockets are good and solid, the cords aren't ripped. Then store them in a nice, neat way, labeled. These are the indoor lights, these are the outdoor lights. Broken bulbs, those can be dangerous when people get them out next year, cut themselves. So make sure you inspect all of your decorations, pack them carefully away, and label everything. That's a really important thing, so you know what's what, and you know it's in working condition because you've checked it out.
But just on a side note, there's times when you put the working lights in the box and you take it out and you put it out for the next season and they don't work. What happened? How often does that happen? You kind of go,
There's a mystery
what
there.
happened here?
Well, you did everything. You did due diligence. You did check them. You packed them away. Who knows? But
it happens,
it's like
so
the missing sock in the dryer. I'm not sure. But you did what you were supposed to do. So as long as you do due diligence, you've done the best you can do to keep things organized and safe.
Well, I wanted to ask you this. As a program, Keep the Wreath Green. What is that about? 'Cause we've seen signs about this.
we have a big, giant 8-foot wreath at Station 3. That's our fire station next to First Pres, which has all of the Christmas lights. As soon as you drive in, you see a green wreath. It's got all green bulbs. If we have a preventable fire between Thanksgiving and New Year's, one of those bulbs will turn red. You can go to the town website and check the status of the wreath. It'll tell you when the fire was, what kind of fire. And when we say preventable, we mean cooking fires, unattended cooking, candle fires, space heater fires. All of those are things that we can avoid. Candle fires especially, you really have to be careful. People forget when they put a candle on a low coffee table. You have small children, you have pets. Easily can be knocked over and have a candle fire. So we say preventable fires between Thanksgiving and New Year's. We want to keep the wreath green that entire holiday season because during the holidays we're more susceptible to fires.
Well, Cinda, you've been such a wealth of information. Thank you much for joining us. And
Sure.
please, these are really helpful tips, so remember that. So we'll be right back with more 843 TV.